Well, perfect timing for a video like this because I always enjoy talking about precious metals. Believe me, I love the cryptocurrency space. With the crazy volatility up and down, I love it. I still love it. Believe me. It's good money to be made playing with that stuff. But I will always be a silver guy till the day I die. See how that rhymed? That was universe, man. That was universe. No, just kidding. But I'm reading an article at silverdoctors.com, who also run the SD Bullion site. And they've got an article. Of course, this is Clive Mond's, article. We know he hasn't been right every time. I get it. But he does make some good points. He says the biggest opportunity in precious metals since late 2015 and the last chance at these prices. He is pretty convinced we've pretty much bottomed. And this is like your last chance to get in, according to him. So, because I'm going to talk about this, and because I'm actually using Silver Doctor's article, the least I could do is tell you about a special offer that they have. A 10-ounce silver Proclaim Liberty bar, 10 ounces, one single bar. For new customers, I believe, only. If you go to sdbullion.com/jsnip4, and in my videos, every one of my videos, at the very bottom of the description box, there is a link, SD Bullion, etc., and it has this /jsnip4. It'll take you to their landing page that gives you a 10-ounce bar at spot price. Again, it's normally for new customers only to them. But again, at freaking spot price, right now I'm looking at $16.22 spot price. All you pay is shipping. It's insane. So, reason I'm definitely telling you that right now is because he may very well be right. We've seen the bottom of silver right now, and we maybe see the commercials positions, who are the ones who always crush the price, flip-flop over to the long side. That's one thing that Jim Sinclair, Mr. Gold as he's called, has been saying for a very, very, very long time. When you see the COT crowd flip, or the commercials in this case, in the COT report, I should say, when they flip and go long, and he says they will, that's when you know it's time to ride it up. That's what he said. But anyways, and there's going to be some charts and stuff in here, and I may not show them all. Just most of this is just listen to what he's saying, kind of a thing. This, of course, was submitted by Streetwise, but we've had to wait 18 months for an opportunity as big as the one we saw in late 2015, which also was a pretty low for silver, to appear again in the precious metal sector. So he says, wait a minute, I can hear you say, prices were generally lower back then at that low, lower than they are now, so how can it be a big opportunity as leverage is reduced? Here are the reasons. One is technical and the other fundamental. When prices rose out of the late 2015 low, which was the head of the Head and Shoulders bottom, shown to the advantage on the 10-year chart for GDX. Below, they were destined to retrace to mark out the right shoulder of the pattern, which is what now has most investors very negative towards the sector again. This time, they don't have to. They can now rise out of this trough and proceed to break out to the upside from the entire pattern to embark on a mighty bull run or bull market. The fundamental reason is this. Most investors have been taken in by the special central bank talk about normalizing interest rates and scaling back their bloated balance sheets. Why we keep hearing about that. We're going to start working on the balance sheet later this year, maybe 2018. But they haven't got what he calls a cat in hell's chance of doing this. I just like to say not a chance in hell. Not a cat in hell's chance of doing this, says him. Him as in Clive, I guess. Why? Because debt and all the associated derivatives attached to that debt has expanded so much to such gargantuan levels that any attempt to bring it under control will send interest rates skyrocketing. Because of this stark reality, they are left with only one option: to inflate the debt away by simply monetizing it, which means inflation. Once investors grasp the inevitability of this, and that this process will soon get underway with a vengeance, gold and silver will soar. That is what the charts that we are going to look at today are telling us, and it means that we may never see the bargains in the precious metal sector that are now available ever again, or at least not for a very long time, he says. The latest COT report, which is the Commitment of Traders report that tells us who's short, the commercials are short, and the speculators are short or long or whatever, and the numbers, which again, is it really truly accurate? Probably to some extent, but you know, I wouldn't hold any number they give me, you know, like dearest to my heart. Not a chance in, or we're not, I'm about to say not a chance in hell. No, not a cat in hell's chance. I'm going to use his term. So anyways, the latest COTs are telling us that gold and silver have hit a bottom, or are very close to having done so. And that is the time, and that the time to buy the sector is now. Before proceeding to look at them, we will start by looking at the latest 10-year chart for GDX, a reliable precious metal stocks proxy, to see where we are on the market clock, where we are in the precious metals stock price cycle. Our 10-year arithmetic chart for GDX shows a clear, large head and shoulders bottom, forming with the price now in the process of completing the right shoulder trough of the pattern. Obviously, most would-be investors in the sector either don't know this pattern exists, or if they are aware of it, have written it off as a false head and shoulders bottom. Witness the rotten sentiment towards the sector, which is just what we want to see at this juncture. Indications that the pattern is genuine are provided by the strong volume on the rise out of the trough of the head and shoulder pattern, which we can expect to see again on the rise out of the right shoulder trough soon, and the outlandishly bullish COTs, which we will soon look at. There's a good bit to this article, and there's a lot of charts. I'm just going to stop at this point. Or should I wait? Because he's kind of talking about gold next. Let me just throw all of ourselves a bonus. Let's talk about the silver one. Like you should know, I am 100% silver when it comes to metals. Physical metals I'm talking about, not mining companies. Metals that I hold in my possession, you know, like these babies. Okay. I've got what I need in silver. I've met my goals. I'm playing with the cryptocurrencies on the side, that kind of thing. But I always tell people, if you got some extra cash, like you're playing these cryptos and you're making some money, and you don't don't have a lot of silver or precious metals, or you don't have any, I've got to tell you, like my own little rule book that I follow, you know, myself. Important to have precious metals, physical metals that you hold in your hand. And you want to gamble, so to speak, or play a game, markets. I'm not going to play the stock markets. I'm going to play the crypto markets. And with some of that profit, you could easily flip right into some precious metals. And I've actually heard numerous stories through emails. Joe, that's exactly what I did. Like Elf would say. Looked like you came from the North Pole. That's exactly where I came from. That's exactly what I did with my crypto profits. So anyways, let's end this one just skipping the gold piece, because the sector is looking the same. You know, he's not saying, well, gold's looking this way, but silver's not, or silver's looking this way, but gold's not. Precious metals are looking the same. He expects a final breakout here in the near future. So anyways, nevertheless, it's worth looking at the old gold. Oh, actually, sorry about that. Now we turn to silver, where we will see that despite weaker price action recently, COTs are even more bullish than those for gold, while silver looks considerably weaker than gold as it has dropped back close to its December 2015 lows, which gold hasn't, and it is still quite some way above them, actually, as far as gold. We should see that it is normal for silver to underperform gold in the late stages of a bear market and early stages of bull markets. As we observed in the last silver market update, which is a link he posts, the spike down about a week ago on high volume looks like a final capitulation. Silver's recent weakness has resulted in it getting very close to its end of bear market lows in late 2015, yada, yada, yada. He says, the latest silver COT chart reveals that commercial short and large speculator long positions have shrunk steadily in recent weeks back to levels that are now very low indeed. In fact, they are at the same levels as in December 2015, as you will see by looking at the earlier COT chart stacked beneath the latest one below, which again, if you want to see this stuff, I'll post a link to the site and you can check it out. The one below, and we know what happened after that. There was a blistering precious metal stock rally that saw some stocks make huge percentage gains, like Coeur de Elena, or Elaine, now named Coeur Mining Inc., which rose more than 8-fold. Which is why I was telling you the other day when I was talking about the mining companies, whether it was zinc and cobalt and all that stuff, when metals move, these mining companies really move a lot. But that doesn't stop me from saying, well, hell, I just should sell out of all my damn physical metals and, silver and just go with the mining company only. We've got thousands of years of history showing us precious metals in your hand, precious metals, have saved some people's bacon before. Because some major bad thing happens all of a sudden, and the silver you were invested in, these shares are poof and gone for some reason, because the particular one you were in was in another country outside the country, and you got into that one you thought was legit, but you didn't do the main one, and you have all this risk in the markets. But generally speaking, the mining sector should be good. Generally speaking, there should not be too many hiccups with the mining sector at all. Especially when you look at some of these alt companies, like I was talking about the other day, cobalt, zinc, and things like that. Especially when you look at their financials. How much debt do they have? How much cash flow do they have? How much cash are they sitting on? Stuff's important to look at. So, anyways, he talks about the mining sector. Of course, we won't see such big percentage gains this time around, at least not immediately, as we will be coming off a higher base, but we ought to later, because the precious metal stock sector indices should proceed to break out of the top of their respective head and shoulders bottom patterns to enter a major bull market growth phase. Finally, we'll take a quick look at the latest silver optics for optimism chart, where we see that investors are at their most pessimistic towards the metal since the bottom of the bear market in 2015, just before a big sector rally. This obviously augurs well for the sector, since the majority are always wrong. Wrong, sir. You stole fizzy lifting drink, which all the things had to be cleaned. You lose, but you could win. You can win a 10-ounce silver Proclaim Liberty bar at spot price. sdbullion.com/jsnip4. The link to that is at the very bottom of my description box of my video. Again, I believe it's for new customers only. If you've been there once before and you bought, I guess it wouldn't hurt to try the link, but I don't think it'll matter. If they've determined you're a previous customer, you're not going to get clearly another 10-ounce bar for free, or not free, but for a spot price. So, all right, just want to cover that, man. Any opportunity I get to jump back on precious metals, you know how much I love them. I gotta cover them, and I'm waiting on the sidelines with you guys. Hey, when's this freaking sector going to break out finally? We're tired of waiting. The good news is, hey, at least we got a little game to play over here in the crypto land to keep us pacified for the time being until the sector really breaks out. And yeah, I know we're on the 17th of July. Hey, Andrew McGuire, 6th of July came and went. That was now 11 days ago. He did a video after that. Hey, interview with King World. It's coming. Just be patient. It should be here soon. This big giant, purchase or whatever of metals that's going to cause some problems for the club or the COMEX or whatever. Again, remains to be seen. The guy, he's always been pretty credible from what everyone has said, about this guy. People inside, this guy was absolutely a trader, metals trader in London. He blew the whistle on JP Morgan rigging the market. Was doing court or some kind of hearing about it and almost got ran over, him and his wife, on the way into the court. I'm sure that was a coincidence. So this guy is just blowing smoke. Would that kind of thing have happened? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think so. But yeah, hey man, you said you gave us the time frame, 26 days approximately. It's now 37 days. Can you tell us what's going on a little bit? Anyways, off to the next video. Take care.